So, how did I do it? How did I do it? That's a very good question. This is me explaining how I did this. It's not gonna be very much or a lot fun. It might actually be very boring. But you're gonna have to cope if you want to see how I did it. Right. So, this all looks very messy. It looks all very scary, very large, and if you're not somebody who uses Blender, you think, oh, this is horrible, I don't want to even look at it. But do not worry, it's all very simple. I'll explain it all. How did I start? What's the main thing? How did I begin this? Began with this little fella over here. Sorry. This is our main character, and he is the very first rig that I put into this file. I had just the ground, and that's it. I rigged the very first half, and I also got my camera. Got my camera moving over here. If you want to see how it's zoomed in, it's just very simple. You just have a focal length. You insert this keyframe, and then at the point where the bang happens, you put the second keyframe, which is I don't know. It's like right around this area where it stops zooming. Yeah, over here you can see it turns yellow at that point. Anyways, it zooms in. That's fantastic. How did I get it so in time with the music? Over here, you can see, you might have saw, these are waves. Looks like audio, and you would be correct. In Blender, you actually do have the option to add audio. And that is, you can open a new window. You go over here at the top. You go video sequencer. And that is it. You have the ability to add audio now. If you look at the audio, it's actually quite normal. It's not much. This right here, it's a soundtrack I got from a movie. The heartbeats free, whatever this is, you can't really hear it much because of the main music, but it's sort of bang. Over here I have the wind, and you can see this is kind of like it fades in and out. That's because in Blender you actually have the option to fade in things in and out. Over here you can now also, a hint, you can increase volume of things and see its waves, because when you first import a sort of audio, this is what you're gonna see, just this. So the thing you want to do is over here display waveform, and if you want to increase the audio, over here increase. So of course, like I said, I got this main one, and then I saw how many what is my frame rate. It's 24 FPS, not much, but it's a standard frame rate of sorts. So I got my the amount of frames sorted out with the how long the music takes. And then after that, this guy can't be defending all alone. So this is our second main character. Added him in. We actually looked here, you can see, kind of looks at him, looks back, shies, and then fades up. This is our third character. You look in with him, he's doing something special. This guy in the background, he looks like he's going mad insane. What's he doing? He's shouting at the other rankers. Wonder who. Must be schizophrenic. Anyways, this guy got animated, rigged, whatever. And also, I was saying that all of these are rigs that are ready. The rigs themselves, yes, but the special thing is the white paint. The main rig, when you move it around, all the other stuff doesn't move with it. So I one day made a separate folder with the weight paints that are correct, so that, you know, when this character moves his torso, his backpack would move with him. Took a lot of time, you'd be surprised. So, after that, these fellas over here, you don't see them much. You can actually check over here with me. By the way, I always had a split screen, so I can see what's my camera doing, and so I can animate things accordingly with what the camera is seeing, because you don't ever want to waste effort into something that you're not seeing. It is wasted time and energy. By the way, these, other than the 3 main ones, the rest are duplicates. So you can see this guy doesn't move a muscle. This guy, he's just like a statue. This guy, he's in the frame for a bit longer, so I had to animate him of some sorts. After that, he just doesn't move, because you also don't want to put a lot of energy into whatever device you're using, in like the render and calculating, oh, what is this animating, all sorts. Or at least that's the way I think about it. Alright. So, after that, what did I do? I got my lighting over here. Let's see this. Let's see what the lighting is like. You'd be very surprised. It's a spotlight, and there is a plate in front of it. That's how I made these god rays, because, you know, something is intercepting the light. Of course it's gonna make it, you know, the way it looks like, which is god rays. Anyways, after that, I had the cut. Yes, the cut. Actually, the way I made this cut, I would not advise anybody else to do it, because I had this black box just waiting around until the second I wanted it. Moved all the rigs around, which actually looks quite funny. And then it moves out. I'm gonna explain why this is absolutely horrible and you should not be doing something like this in a second. But in the meantime, I'll explain how I did things chronologically and what was my thought process. So, I animated this guy walking. He's walking up. If you actually look him through, he just kind of slides in. It's not really walking much. And you'd be surprised, but I'm pretty sure I have surprised you quite a lot by this point. But the flag is the last thing I added in, because, well, it doesn't need much work like the other animating stuff. For example, this I have to rig it specifically. This I have to animate it. This I just need to give it physics, cloth physics, and give it a pin group so that it doesn't fall off into the void like this. This is how you would normally see if you didn't put a pin group. It would just fall like that, because Blender doesn't know. It doesn't know where should it be stuck. It's a device, it's not human. The wind, I just shift A. Over here you can see it's somewhere around here. Force field. These are all different fields, force, whatever. We had wind. I may give it higher strength, smaller flow, or whatever. I don't remember. And then I had everything ready. My animation was beautifully done, in my opinion. Well, not really. You never really appreciate your own animations. Anyways, the first thing I went on ahead and did is I actually baked my audio. So I don't remember where it was. Oh yeah, there it is. Render audio. Basically, what this does, and I'm gonna explain later on why rendering the audio is an important part. All this stuff, it's above each other. It just bakes it into one file over here. You here have this file, open it. Ouch, that was kind of loud for me, sorry. Yeah, this is the audio. After that, what I did is I baked this flag. If you notice, this cloth over here, it's not allowing me to move stuff. That's because I've already baked the animation. So now I've got everything ready. What's left is to render everything else that's beside the audio and the flag or physics. So a very new person would probably think, oh, I want to do an animation, a movie, I should pick one of these files. And that is absolutely horrible. You never want to pick these files. Absolutely not. Because if anything happens to your device while these files are rendering, you just lose all your work. All the work that's been done, or the time that's been given to render. So that's why you want to choose TIFF, or if you have much knowledge, OpenEXR. I chose TIFF, I don't have that much knowledge. Over here, picked out an output, a place where all my pictures are gonna go to. Over here. We open this file, you can see it's quite literally the animation frame by frame. So, I rendered all that. Oh, by the way, my render settings, if you're interested, I have a sort of good laptop. So I went with a very low sample count, because I am a firm believer that samples are not the answer. I went with a denoiser, didn't go with a noise threshold, because a denoiser and a noise threshold don't always work so well, or rarely ever do. Went with open image denoise, even though I have optics, because I just found it to be less noisy, and that's it. So I rendered all that. What do I do now? I opened a new file, video editing. Over here, over here, went Shift A, the magic key to adding anything in Blender, image sequence. Over here, pick them all by pressing A. The keybinds work in Blender all the same. And imported it into here, which is this model here. The audio, I baked it, and as you can see, it's just one strand added in. I have my very own symbol down there. And before we get to this part, I want to explain why, like I said, the black box was a very bad idea. Okay, so if we opened this file over here, which is the one that renders picture by picture, or frame by frame, sorry, I have this many frames that is just black, and each frame took me about 14 to 20 seconds to render. That is quite a lot of time, and very precious time. Time is always precious. When I could have easily done is put in it like a black image, or just put a cut, or just split them, or whatever. Because over here in video editing, you can always cut, you can fade things out, you can fade things out. It's a normal video editor, just that it's in Blender. And that is why I would not advise anybody else to do exactly how I did with the cut or the black screen. Anyways, we're very close to the end over here in this part. It's very simple. Have a painting app, very free. I love free things, who would have thought. Gave it no background, got some text, got the flag over here, this eraser right here, saved it, imported it over here, fade in, and that's it. I went over here, but before that of course I picked up location. I rendered it, rendered render animation, Control F12, and ta-da, I had my final outcome, my render over here. So that's it. It might seem like a lot, but if you really dissect it all down to its core, it's really not. Hope you all have a great day, and goodbye.